The phrase "طال عمرك" in Saudi Arabia literally translates into "may God prolong your life," and it's used as a sign of respect when addressing royalty or influential businessmen in the Gulf region. But a new use of the expression in the form of a Twitter hashtag links to an outpouring of criticisms of the government from Saudi netizens, and also across the wider Arab world, who are claiming that the royal family ignores Saudi Arabia's poor and are suppressing the spirit of dissent in the region. Now, from Saudi Arabia, we have a tweet from Nawara82, who outlined the king's failure to usher in reforms he had promised since earlier this year. It says right here in English, this is our translation, "You promised us progress, and we found ourselves late. You promised us a decent life, and we face high living expenses. You promised us the policy of, quote, the open door, and gifted us the new anti-terror law." Now, of course, she's referring to the hashtag Saudi terror law, a proposed law that would make it easier for Saudi authorities to prosecute and issue harsher punishments for protesters and critics of the government. But it seems many are already losing patience with the promise for reforms, including Manal al-Sharif, who you can see right here, was one of the women who was arrested for defying a ban on female driving in Saudi Arabia earlier this year. It says, "Since your sons and daughters are 20 million, referring to the population of Saudi Arabia, and we export 9 billion barrels of oil per day, in which barrel do you think we should keep our patience?" Now, Saudi Arabia has seen a series of sporadic protests in recent months in support, for example, of women's right to drive, and also against rising consumer prices. But many are worrying that the government will come after those who are using this very hashtag to criticize the country. Khadija al-Sheikh, as you can see right here, tweeted, "The guy who started the hashtag Tal Umrak is probably tied up in a tinted GMC halfway to Al-Rub' al-Khali desert." Presumably that would be the last time we hear of him. And then also Freedom Egypt saying, "Some Saudis are expressing fear of Twitter getting blocked in Saudi after Tal Umrak hashtag intensity." And lastly, we'll leave you with this photo, which was tweeted by Hassan in Saudi Arabia, right here behind me, who writes at the top, "Thank you for your attention." And the cartoon right there seemingly showing an upper-class Saudi man asking one of the country's poor to, quote, "donate to your Muslim brothers in Somalia," and in doing so perhaps suggesting that the Saudi government neglects its own citizens even as it comes to the aid of others suffering in other countries. Now, we'll continue to follow this conversation online and this hashtag, but here are some other hashtags that we're following.